We back. The dynamic duo, no Batman and Robin. What up, cuz?
What it do? Man, ready
Good
for
morning,
this?
yes, sir. Good morning, everybody. We got a lot to get into, so let's get into it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good, everybody. Geeks all over the globe, and we are back. Like I said before, the dynamic duo of Cuz We're Geeked, right here on the Cuz We're Geeked, where we encourage you to stay geeked. Listen, man, it is your boy, Real.
It's your boy Will.
Yes, sir. You already know, man. Listen, we apologize for the absence. When life calls, you got to answer.
Yeah,
Listen, man, there's a lot to get into today. A lot stuff we want to kind of get into, discuss things that we haven't talked about here in the last maybe a couple weeks. So
yep,
we're gonna get into it today. Cuz, you ready to get into it, man?
yeah, man. Let's go ahead and do this thing.
Listen, man, if you've seen the thumbnail, you already know we about to get into. Um, I kind of want to save this for last, cuz, but let's go ahead. Yeah, let's say that for last. Let's get into this first here, man. Let's get into Superman Legacy casting news. I know you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, man.
We'll
Let's
take
get
it
it.
off, man. Take it away, man. What's on your mind, man?
All right, so they broke it down. Gave us who's going to be Lois Lane, who's going to be the Man of Steel, our new Clark Kent. So we have from Marvelous Miss Maisel, uh, the actress. Skipped her name. But I do think they should do great, especially the way that she was able to carry Marvelous Miss Maisel. So that alone, just like she has awards behind her. She's young, vibrant. I think just her being able to bring that energy to Lois would be huge because to me, that's when it comes to just the overall Superman legacy. Lois Lane is very important. Being able to carry her own, uh, and because the big thing with Lois is she's not truly like that damsel in distress. She gets into precarious situations, but she a lot of times she seems to be able to hold her own. So having her would be huge. And then the new Superman is what folks say is basically a Henry Cavill Jr. Like
Yeah, like a watered down Henry Cavill or something.
yes, it was just crazy for them. Which I mean, it makes sense because like Henry with his nerdum, like he wanted to truly depict Superman down to just his chest hair and all. So for them to be able to find this guy, hopefully he'll be the same way as far as like wanting it's the small details of being able to bring Clark Kent, bring Superman onto the screen. I think would be huge. Which I am interested in is how they'll be able to do it. Will it be mainly Superman that happens to be Clark Kent, or will it be Clark Kent that is happen to be a superhero? So I wonder
It
how they're
might be
going to
that.
split it up. Yeah, so that's what I'm interested in the type of storyline that they do. What you got?
Listen, if James Gunn is directing it, I'm not worried. Not just because of the surface thing. Oh, it's gonna be a good movie. He directing it. It's not that. It's like the layers of the depth of the movie that he's gonna add. Man, we saw that with man, especially what we just saw with Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We can
Yeah,
bring that type of sensibility and that type of direction, man, to this movie, which I believe he will. That's James Gunn. He's a great storyteller. And you hear him talking about it in different interviews and stuff, man, of how he's gonna approach the movie. I'm not worried.
yeah,
They took their time finding the right cast for the movie,
yeah,
so that's a good thing too. James Gunn does pretty well on casting. Well,
yeah.
yeah, he does help with the casting process.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it really was I can't think of her name. She's the casting director at Marvel, but because Marvel does a great job at casting, but
Yeah.
um, he also had a hand in casting too for his movies. So I'm not worried about it, man. Well, he casted the cast in Suicide Squad, so I'm definitely not worried about that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I said, man, look, Superman. I think we kind of a lot of people kind of figured that he was gonna be Superman. That's not really a big surprise.
Yeah.
The marvelous Mrs. Maisel herself. I didn't know that she would be. I thought it was. I definitely thought it would have probably been. I can't think of the girl name. Looks like Margot Robbie right now. I'm blanking on her name. I apologize.
I
Um,
know who you're talking
I'm
about.
blanking on her name. It's early, y'all. It's early. It's like morning time over here. But yeah, I thought she would be it, but that's a perfect cast. I'm not mad at it, man.
Yeah.
You had some idiots already online talking about she's not attractive enough. I'm just like, bro, I can't stand people, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody got to have something to complain about. But anyway,
Yeah.
just wait till the movie come out, then you have your opinions or whatever. I just don't understand it. People, it just been happening for years, bro. It kind of remind me back when I was a kid, man. I heard people complaining about Michael Keaton being Batman and stuff like, "Oh, Mr. Mom is Batman" or whatever, or Beetlejuice is
Mm.
Batman. It's like, bro, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah.
let the movie
And
come out
Alec.
first, we start making our opinions on it, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. But yeah, no, I'm not mad at the casting, man.
Me neither.
Supposedly, man, why am I blinking on names this morning? What's the man's name that played Beast? Nicholas Holt. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nicholas Holt was supposedly also in the running, and I think they might have a role for him for something else. I don't necessarily know if it's Lex, because now the casting news for Lex is one of the Skarsgård brothers.
Yeah.
Um, what's his name?
William
Uh,
and
yeah, William. Yeah, and William. What was the other one name? I know it's Bill
uh,
Skarsgård and
Andrew.
why am I blanking on
Scottsboro.
people's names this morning, man?
Yes, the name's is kicking us right now.
But the one who played in True Blood, the older one,
Yeah.
he is him. Which I don't think it should be him. I think if you want to kind of go around that same age range as the
Yeah.
other actors in the movie, I think it should be Bill Skarsgård, the one who played it.
Yeah.
Plus he kind of has that. I can see him being Lex. He has that devious side to him and stuff like that, man. I think he'll pull it off. He's a pretty good actor. I think he'll pull it off. Um,
Alexander.
Thank you,
That's
Alexander
the brother.
Skarsgård. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a little too old. I wouldn't want him to be Lex Luthor. I think they should. I think he should cast his brother, Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Um, that'd be perfect to me. And plus, I believe he would shave his head bald for real for that
Yeah.
part. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's a really pretty good actor. Plus, he's familiar with WB and all that stuff. Like I said, with the It movie and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, also, man, he played pretty. He can probably play that part he played in John Wick 3.
That's what exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
The way he was in John Wick,
John Wick 3.
it was
That'd
perfect.
be perfect. There you go. There's
Yeah,
Lex
it was
right there.
perfect.
Just shave the head and we good
Yes,
to go.
exactly, exactly.
Um, man,
And I think
you,
that would be the what he did in John Wick was a watered down version of what they would do in
yeah,
Lex, because Lex wouldn't be using his maniacal to be able to get folks to turn or to go after Wick. But I think Lex will be more maniacal, and Lex is that dude. He always has something up his sleeve, so
yeah. He's
he
always
wouldn't
a
have got
one, three
flanked the
steps
way
ahead
that
of
he
you
did.
type of guy.
Exactly.
You saw the video I sent you. Little somebody made on YouTube, I think it was. I saw,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of putting the new Superman in certain places or whatever. Like somebody like a video edit
Yeah.
of like a trailer. Like I could just imagine
Yeah.
it being like that, man. I can't wait to see what they're gonna
Yeah.
do with this movie.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Like I said, he got James Gunn definitely has a lot of ideas for the movie, so that'd be great, man. All
Oh
right,
yeah.
man. Let's go ahead and get into the next topic here, man. Let's go ahead and get into this right here, Indiana Jones. Oh, you gonna say something?
About to say Rachel Brosnan. That's her name. That's who
Yes.
was skipping out on
Yeah,
Marvel's Mrs.
names are going blank to this morning, man. I'm forgetting everybody's names.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next topic here, man, the Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny takes. It's not looking good right now for the box office numbers, man.
At
Um,
all.
for the last installment of this franchise. Just want to get your idea, your take. What'd you think of it? And all that good stuff, man. What's on your mind?
I have fun watching it because I also got to remember that in this version of or this particular Indiana Jones, like he's old. So
Mm-hmm.
he's not the action star like we would typically see. So you also got to have to set your expectations to that as far as the how he'll be moving around. Also have to think of the people within it. So I enjoyed it because like I thought it was pretty funny. He kept giving that old dude the right hook every time he had a chance to.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
the one that was chasing him,
Mm-hmm.
the horse that shooting at him and stuff. Yeah, I think he hit him with a right hook. I should did a counter, but it was at least 4 or 5 times. Whenever he got close enough, yeah, he popped him, which is pretty funny. But overall, yeah, the it was to me it was just a fun movie to be able to get out and watch. Sucks that with this one, it probably will be the last one because then it will be back to back failures as far as Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
It went from being a masterclass of a series
Of a
or
trilogy.
just yeah to now it's just struggling through at this point, which it does suck because like right now the critic has it at 69.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't seen what the fans have it, but
88%.
88. Okay, that's
So
not
a lot of
terrible.
people agree with what you just said.
Yeah, like it's fun to get out. It's just I think word of mouth and just not enough people getting out to see it has been the issue. Because I mean 88 to me that's a little high. I would plot overall story. I give it 75
Jeez.
ish. But I mean, like I said, it's if it's a fun movie to watch, I'll give it a passing grade. So that's minimum of 70. And so does it build after that? And it doesn't build too much after that, you know. It does bring in some throwbacks, some original casting, which was fun to be able to see. And it did throw some plot twists, but overall, I think they definitely could have ironed it out a little bit more uh, to to improve it. Because one thing I did like about it was that they mentioned his son
Yeah.
and what happened to him to be able to close that door instead of just making it seem like that.
You never had one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, like a lot of movies and whatnot like to do that. If they had
So doing a read what do they call that? A redux?
redone to where they don't even mention the last movie or anything to that nature.
Oh,
It's like,
you
nah,
said Star
just
Wars?
yeah, exactly. It's like, nah, don't skip over it. Just okay, this happened. It's how it got cleaned up, and just keep pushing along with it. You know. So I did like that. They were adult enough to be able to do that part. So, what you think?
Um kind of like to take out of what you just said. You know what? 88%. I'm not mad at that number. Like
Yeah,
I thought it was a good movie.
yeah.
You know, like I
It's
don't.
fun.
Yeah, it was fun, man. The critics almost have it at a 70%, man. So it's not that bad, bro. I
Yeah,
just it and kind of what you were saying about the whole it didn't close it or whatever. It's like or they didn't end it off with um well or whatever. Like I think it's the last movie, so I don't really think they were really trying to just keep it open ended like a book or anything because it's like it's the last movie. So
yeah.
because he's definitely done. He's 80 years old. He's not doing another Indiana Jones movie, man.
Exactly.
Um, like you said too, the fact that they had his son kind of like it's no secret. People weren't really happy with Shia LaBeouf. I didn't mind Shia LaBeouf in the movie, man.
Me neither.
But a lot of people weren't happy with the Shia LaBeouf character in the movie. So instead of adding him in this one, just say he went off to war and he died in war. I mean that's believable. Um, and they used that as part of the plot in this movie. Like that was kind of the reason why he was kind of alone and just kind of like disgruntled and
Yeah,
he's an old grizzled Tomb Raider as that lady would call as his goddaughter would call him.
yeah,
And that played the part in the end with him and him and Marion reconciling and all that stuff. So you know what I'm saying? Look, man, I had no problem with this movie. I liked it. I liked it. I had fun. From the very beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it felt like to me. It felt like an Indiana. This felt more like an Indiana Jones movie than the last one.
Oh, absolutely,
Like
absolutely.
this one to me is better than the last one to me.
Yeah,
Because I remember a lot of people were like, "Oh, he's just gonna forget about the last one." It's only three Indiana Jones movies. Well, I
yeah,
would put this one in there with that. I know it doesn't feel the same because he's older, like you said. Like you would
yeah.
like to see him young or whatever. But
Yeah.
let me ask you a question too, man. How'd you feel about the de aging? They look real to you? Or?
It actually was better than what I expected. To be honest, it was. I don't know. Starting to see that more and more in movies, so just got to start getting used to it, especially as a lot of the movie stars that we've grown to know
Starting
are
to get old.
aging, and yeah.
Hmm.
So, and then technology is where it is to where they can be able to do this. So, it to me it was actually pretty good. Being able to the beginning sequence on the train. I think they did the CGI was pretty good. It was much better than another movie that we saw this summer.
That we're gonna talk about later on. Yeah, no, I agree, man. I didn't. I thought maybe I saw heard some like rumors that the CGI wasn't that good, the de aging wasn't that good. So when I watched it, I'm like analyzing as I'm looking, as I'm watching them. Like I didn't see the. I mean, he wasn't like 100% great. They might have been like 2% off or whatever. But other than that,
Yeah,
it looked pretty. That like you said, that looked more realistic than the other ones we saw. You know,
yeah,
they
exactly.
might even get the
It's like
folks who work at well, actually, this is same under the same studio, Disney, but
yeah,
they might need to get them people, man, who do the de aging for the Marvel movies. They seem to get that thing right.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, man, you think there's ever gonna be another Indiana Jones movie? I know Harrison Ford like, oh, it's gonna die with me. I doubt that, man.
yeah,
This is a popular IP, man. I don't see them just like, you know what? If Harrison Ford doesn't
yeah.
do it anymore, I'm gonna do Indiana Jones ever again.
No, I can see eventually they're doing a reboot. Uh, The question is when and who. But yeah, I could see them just doing an overall just reboot. Uh, I think that would be best at this point. Gave Harrison the fifth movie uh, of this uh, of this storyline. Yeah, I think it's just time to get started from the beginning. Uh, Use new artifacts and ideas as far as the Tomb Raider, because it doesn't necessarily have to be uh, Indiana Jones. As far as like a guy, it can just be whoever a person. Just go. You got the meats of it being a professor, being a have the basis of being a superstar, being able to move around, being able to fight, act. So you got the meat. Harrison gave you the ingredients of what is needed to be successful. So you can just run with it at that point. So, and once,
I think Chris Pratt would have been perfect.
oh,
He kind
yeah,
of got that charisma like Indiana there. Like I said,
hmm,
he's an action star. He can do action or whatever.
yeah,
I think he would have been perfect Indiana Jones. That's what I was about to say. I blanked on what I was about to say.
not if it was it Chris Pratt. He got a lot. Well, I don't know about a lot now with the writer's strike, but I know he's been between like Guardians of the Galaxy. He has the Terminal List as well. I need that season 2 to drop. So he got some stuff out there that I can see going. So just availability. It would have to at this point. It would I would expect for it to be someone young.
Yeah,
Uh,
they would definitely go younger.
yeah. So and
Now,
just like mid
I hope they don't
twenties.
do like Young Indiana Jones, like that show Young Indiana Jones. That was boring.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want him to be of
Like,
age but younger. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like,
Is it? Because if he's a professor, probably have to do at least early 30s. Just have him as or even like an adjunct professor or something, but really great at history. I think that'd be something really fun.
or have him working in a museum like he always talk about.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
belongs in the museum. You always trying to put something in the museum.
yeah,
And
yeah.
shout out to
Yeah.
Salah, man, and Marion.
Oh
I thought
yeah.
Salah passed years ago, man. He's still
Oh
alive. That's
man.
good to see.
Yeah. Give them hell,
Give
Indy.
him hell,
Yeah.
Indiana. That's what I'm going to ask you. So, which one of these movies is your favorite Indiana Jones movie?
Ooh,
It's easy for me.
Raiders. Raiders.
You
I really
traitor.
enjoy Raiders. What you
You
got?
traitor.
Who you
No, I was
got?
gonna say Last Crusade. It's my favorite one. When I was a kid, that's what I think like
Yeah,
all the time, man. I love that
yeah,
movie. Cause when
yeah.
we saw that in the movie theaters, man, I was like, yo, this is the greatest Indiana Jones movie of all time. We had all three of the tapes or whatever.
Yeah,
So yeah, Last Crusade is my favorite one.
yeah.
Um, what order do you have them in?
Ooh, I never thought about that.
For me, it's a toss up between Raiders and Temple of Doom
mhm,
as my second favorite. Cause it'll go Last Crusade. I probably say Raiders, then Temple of Doom,
mhm.
then Dial of Destiny, and then of course Crystal Skull.
Yeah, I can see
It's
that.
a toss up. Like I said, it's a toss up between Temple of Doom and then Raiders of Lost Ark. Cause believe it or not, like I thought I always when I was growing up, I thought that Raiders was the sequel to Temple of Doom.
Uh, it's too
Somebody
original,
some
dude.
say somebody said too like I was watching one of those like they break down the trailers and all that, the movies and shows stuff.
Yeah,
Somebody they was saying something about chronologically Raiders is part two of Temple of Doom, like it story wise. Because he was
yeah,
saying that if you think about it, remember when he was tied up to that post with Marion and Raiders, and like he said,
yeah,
close your eyes, like he wasn't surprised by all that type of stuff. He said
yeah,
because he been through what he went through with in Temple of Doom with the whole like uh with Kalima and all that stuff and the drinking of that
yeah,
blue stuff. So that was like new to him. So
yeah,
in Raiders, it wasn't new anymore. Like, oh, supernatural stuff, I've seen this before. And so when he was
yeah,
playing like that, I was like, that kind of makes sense, but why would they flip it though? I don't know. I mean, it's not the first time in history they've done that in the movie, but I don't
yeah,
know. I thought that was kind of interesting on the way he explained it.
yeah,
Because he said like if in Raiders, if like he saw supernatural things before, he wouldn't have been surprised in in Temple of Doom or whatever. So he said
yeah,
actually Temple of Doom was the first one, and chronologically is the first one. Movie wise, it's not, but chronologically, he said he could see why it would be the first one.
yeah. That makes sense. Now we
Yeah,
gotta go back and rewatch it to see that.
yeah. Because like I said, I didn't even think about it, man. I was like, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
All right, man. Let's go ahead and get into this right here, man. This is the more recent thing right here.
yeah.
Thoughts on the Secret Invasion series, man. Listen, there's lot of talk going around online, man. I think it's just we're gonna talk about this in general and as a whole in a minute. So
Yeah.
let's just get your thoughts on the Secret Invasion series so far, man.
It's been good. The episode two, with the death of who threw me off. Like, oh man,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's like if
yeah. No
something like
spoilers,
that.
by the way. No spoilers. We're gonna keep
Yeah,
this
not
spoiler free.
yeah, yeah. If I would have knew like something like that was going to happen, I was going to think it was going to be like later in the season. It's like
Or in a movie.
yeah, exactly. Like
I told my wife, me and
it,
my wife said that I was like, it's got to be in. That threw me off too. I'm like, this way.
yeah,
They
like
decided to do it
that's
this way. I mean,
that's major.
I mean,
Like that
okay,
person, to me, that person is a major role in the
yeah,
MCU as far as like
especially
especially
in the
the spy,
comics.
yeah, and the spy realm. Like, yeah, y'all sure y'all want to do it this way? So that
I'm
was
with you.
really weird to be able to see. Threw me for a loop, but overall, I think it's been good. It's been crazy just to see the amount of power uh, the squirrel has been able to have overall, uh, just from just uh, taking over or just looking like humans and being able to get into areas of government and things like that. So
Hmm.
just where the way that they've been able to get in and the power that they've been able to uh, uphold and affect around the world. It's been interesting to watch. Like I said, it's to me, it's been a good watch. It's been that spy thriller that MCU has been trying to get back into at times since the what was one of my favorite MCU movies, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Like that's to me was more of a spy movie than a comic book movie. It was to me it was phenomenal. But yeah, I think that's what they're trying to get back with this one is being able to get a little bit more spy into the MCU, especially before they go more off world, which they're expected to do over the next phases, essentially. What you think?
Man, listen, the thing too that got me about this show, I know a lot of people calling it mid and all that stuff. I like the show.
Yeah,
Like I like the fact that they, like you said, it's a spy thriller. Like people, I guess people are kind of saying that because it's not like superpowers and all that stuff going on.
yeah,
I think the closest superpowers you're gonna see is the fact that the scrolls shape shifting. I mean, that's pretty much it.
yeah.
You see a story kind of developing here, man, in a famous comic book line in dealing with the Fantastic Four, a certain villain that a lot of people know. I'm kind of glad I figured that's where they were going with this, which is cool with me.
Mhm.
Um, I think, I mean, like I said, I like it. The fact that, like I said, it's like one of those slow burns. It's pretty good. It keep me on the edge of the seat because you don't know what's gonna happen, man. Especially with the way that the scrolls are moving. You don't know who a scroll. You don't know who to trust. So
Yeah,
I like it. You know what I mean. Also too, um, you hear people start to complain about the opening credit scene.
yeah. I still don't know why they were upset about it. To me, that opening scene was fantastic. Uh, I mean, okay, they use AI. Like that's what the technology is nowadays. More and more AI is being used from writing resumes to help just make people's jobs easier. So I don't understand why using AI for opening sequence of TV show would be terrible.
Yeah, I was listening. I was watching that online, man. I was talking to my wife about that. I'm like, I don't know why everybody's flipping out about it. I didn't see nothing wrong with it. It's just opening credit scene. What's going on? So I
Yeah,
thought maybe it was something I missed or something. I was like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I was confused by it. Um, so far, what do you give the show? Grade wise, one through 10. What do
One
you
through
give it?
10. I give it 8.5. The I I got to see how they capitalize off of the death, or how they just such a significant death for in a TV show. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'll give it 8.5. It's right there on the. It can be have a few more episodes, so it has a chance to be like, yo, I got to rewatch this, and I know I missed a lot. Like this is a good show, or it's like it was good. I'll just be ready for the next season when it drops. So it's right there. What you got?
Will it be another season?
I we'll see.
That's not a guarantee anymore.
Yeah,
Listen, no, I give it an 8. I just we are if you read the Secret Invasion story, man, it's pretty much like Secret Invasion. Only difference is instead of them like trying to infiltrate the superheroes, they're infiltrating the government.
yeah,
And this right here just showed me, man, how powerful the scrolls can be, man. Like, bruh, like I had no. Well, I don't want to give too much away if you haven't watched it, whatever. But man, it's I like it. Like I said, I like
yeah,
the show. I look
yeah,
forward to every Wednesday. I mean, because I know right now things aren't too hot right now when it comes to comic book properties and stuff like that, man. But I mean, I like it, man. It's pretty good to me. All right, man. Let's go ahead and let's get into this last one, cause it's the big one right here, man. I think it's the one you really want to talk about here. Let's get into that Flash box office results, man. Um,
yeah.
while you talking, I'm gonna pull this Rotten Tomatoes up, man. Go ahead, bro. What's on your mind,
All
man?
right.
What's on your Flash
So
loving mind, man?
So it's been talked that they expect this to be the largest WB flop in their history, which is insane. I'm also kind of upset about it as well. So to me, I thought it was a good movie. It was fun. The action was good. The CGI could have been much better. I feel like so when I thought about it, how long do you think this movie had been made before it was released?
No, it's been a while. It was like almost 2 years.
Exactly. Technology moves pretty quick. So
Right.
to think of the time that this movie was made, the edits, I think that this we got used to higher levels of tech. To be honest, and I don't think they updated it. I think they should have been updating it as they while the movie was uh, getting prepared to get released. I think that would have been the time to update because it would have been at least mm, 2 to 3 years. I think they that would have gave them time to clean a lot of the CGI up. So uh, and then also when you look at the Rotten Tomatoes, because what was the score?
Uh, Critic 64, audience 84.
So, if you all remember when we first talked about the Flash, I said that I think that once people watch it, it will settle down to about an 80, and then that will, to me, will be the gist of it. It'd be rated at 80. Everybody will enjoy the movie and just go from there. With it being at 84, it shows that the people that have gone to see it have enjoyed the movie. The problem is word of mouth and the people just it's not enough people going to go see the movie.
Mm,
To me, I think that's personally, I think that's the Ezra Miller effect. The chaos that he had been causing in his personal life, I think, has turned a lot of people off of him and didn't really want to support the film because of him,
mm,
and which I get because like if it wasn't just for the overall wanting to see the Flash on the big screen, I wouldn't have watched it either. But that's just my narrative. Uh, and I wasn't trying to support the type of person, but still, it happens. But yeah, I think that's the fact. And because of him, the movie's going to end up failing or is considered a failure, uh, box office wise. And it will, it's just, it sucks because not, it sucks like for the people that worked on it and
yeah.
everything, but
And the
also
other actors and actresses who worked on the movie.
exactly. Like his everything he did was his selfish. Against the people that the pain that he put on, that he affected, and then his coworkers and team members as well. And then also as fans, we suffer because what now we don't get have a chance to have Batman Beyond, having Michael Keaton as back as Batman in Batman Beyond, because that was hinged on how well this movie does. Because having Michael Keaton in the movie, having him back as Batman, it will be able to. It was just something to tie together, just as, so the studio will be able to have an idea if we have Michael Keaton back, will it be strong enough for another set of shows or movies? And at this point, it's showing that that is a no go, which sucks. So it's just terrible. What you got?
Listen, man, I got a lot to take out of this. Check this out, man. First of all, like you said, it was a very good movie. I saw it twice in the movies. Um, I was one of those people, man. I was talking to Fred about this because he was telling me he liked the movie too, and he was saying that the movie was so good that the CGI didn't take him out of the movie, which is how I felt too.
Yeah,
Like, yes, I noticed the CGI was not good. I'm not sitting here saying it was great at that. What was
yeah,
everybody talking about? Not saying that. I'm just saying that it was so good that it didn't take me out the movie.
hmm,
It was a very good movie. Michael Keaton was my favorite part of that movie, man. Like that dude was a beast in the movie.
yeah,
Um, I'm with you, man. Maybe the now you know what? to kind of piggyback on what you said about the whole Flash, whole Ezra Miller thing and him being, the his off camera stuff. Listen, this
Yeah.
goes back to when I think me and you talked about this a while back when we talked about WB should have got in front of this. You did
Okay.
not pull him to the side, or you didn't do anything to him before the movie came out or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, before they started shooting, all this stuff started happening before they started shooting. Like
Yeah.
you said, it came out. They created this movie 2 years ago or whatever. It's been sitting on the shelf waiting and all that stuff because they were trying to get a director and all that stuff. The writing was not finished and all that stuff. So it's been sitting on the shelf for 2 years before they finally released it. But the thing is, he started acting up. I think like 4 years before this movie came out. So it's like they didn't even try. They just tried to sweep it under the rug. They just like, okay, maybe if he doesn't do anything again, it'll be quiet and it'll kind of go away. Like, bro, this is a
Yeah.
new time and age. But people keep receipts now.
Yeah.
People keep
Exactly.
receipts. Like you gotta you. That's the part that kind of got me with them, man. It's like they should have jumped on this before that, man. And
Yeah.
you hate that a movie like this. Like I said, it was great acting across the board. Great movie, man. Like a lot of people poured their blood, sweat, and tears into the movie, like you just said. And
Yeah.
because of that one piece, man, it's causing this whole entire, you know, uh,
Franchise.
yeah, problems or whatever, right? So that's why I'm just sitting there. I'm like, when you said that, man, I was like, yeah, I blame WB. I blame
Mhm.
WB.
Yeah.
Like shout out to John Campion, man. He said that a while back. He said he don't know why they didn't. You should have came out and made a statement or something like, yo, we doing something with him, blah blah blah, something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you didn't even do that. You
Yeah.
just kind of like hope it got swept under the rug. And I remember somebody made that comment that, oh, this movie is so good they're gonna forget about what Ezra Miller did. You remember that comment?
Yeah. I remember.
Like like, bro, that's what I'm saying. That's if that's your thinking, then that I don't see why I can't blame this movie for doing what it's doing right now in the box office.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like that's kind of self inflicting. You should have took care of that.
Hmm.
Um, I just like I said, I hate to see it with this movie, man. Um, and it's not just a Flash movie, man. It seems like a lot of like these comic book movies right now are kind of suffering a little bit. And I know
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, it's gonna be fatigue. It's finally kicking in or whatever." And it's like, I don't think it's
All right.
fatigue. If they started just throwing out a string of good movies, there wouldn't be any
Hmm.
fatigue. Like the back end of the Marvel movie before they got to Infinity War and all that stuff, and Endgame was starting to become good. People want fatigue. They wanted more.
Yeah.
So now it's like you like with the Marvel shows and stuff like that, a lot of hits and misses and stuff like that. So people kind of getting tired of it, like just
Yeah.
DC same thing. How these movies are okay. But you're getting tired of the mundane, bro. Like if you listen to the James Gunn not podcast. I'm sorry. Heard his interview on the on the Rosenbaum podcast.
Hmm.
He kind of mentioned that it's like you have to change it up, man. You can't just have the same formula in all the comic book movies, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
action, 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 uh, you know, dialogue, action, 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 dialogue, whatever, right? You gotta change it up, add something to it, man. Which is
Yeah.
why when you talk about the Superman Legacy movie in the beginning, I was telling you I trust him because he has an
Yeah.
idea, he has a vision, he has an understanding of what he's working with. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's not just Superman strong fly, he gonna break some things, catch some things, all
Yeah.
that type of stuff. It's like you got to add something, a different element to the movie. And listen, that's the same thing How you think comic book movies got to this point now?
Yeah.
Remember, it's completely different from the '90s than it was in the
Mm.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
Completely different from the early 2000s than it is now, right? Like
Yeah.
you got to continue to keep evolving and changing things up. And I think they'll figure it out, man. Like
Yeah.
you just hope they kind of figure it out sooner than later, man. Because like I said, everybody's attention spans are like that nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll go to something real quick. When there's a lot of cop movies,
Yeah.
when last time you see like a great cop movie? See what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Yeah. It's
comedies,
been a while.
parodies, all that. Like, it'd be a lot of
Yeah.
parody movies.
It
You don't see
just
this no
ebbs and
more. Like,
flows.
yeah, ebbs
Yeah.
and flows. There you go. So that's why I say, like, man, you gotta adapt. You gotta change. You gotta do some things different, and they're gonna get there, man. They're gonna get there. Like I said, it don't take like one good movie. Maybe two or three good movies. You throw like maybe two good movies in a row, and people be
Yeah.
like, okay, I see where y'all going with this now. But it's gonna
I think
take
it'll take three.
well,
I think it'll take
DC
three.
it might take three because
Yeah.
man, that's another thing too, man. Listen, I kind of feel sorry for the movies coming up in DC.
Hmm.
I feel sorry for Blue Beetle. I feel sorry for
Aquaman too.
I think Aquaman gonna flop, bro. I haven't seen the trailer. I haven't heard anything about it. It's just a feeling.
Yeah, yeah. It has
I
been
could
pretty
be
quiet.
wrong. I could be wrong. It might be another $1 billion movie. I don't know, right?
Yeah,
But I just got that feeling, man. Like
yeah.
I just got the feel like a lot of these movies, not just for the trailer look bad or whatever. It's just like a feeling like that Craven movie. I don't think that's gonna be good. I mean, sorry, I don't think that's gonna do well. Um, what's another one? Like you said, Blue Beetle, Aquaman, the Craven movie. Like I just think these movies are gonna fall a little short, man. Like I don't know. They got to do something, man, with the comic book movies. You got to do something different. I don't know what that something is, but they definitely got to do something different, man.
I think they gotta. To me, it has to be kind of like I said, my what made Captain America Winter Soldier so good. It was they didn't. It was a spy movie with superheroes. I think that's what they had to get to. Don't just make superhero movies or comic book movies. Make movies with superheroes in them. So have a movie setup, and you just end up
So have
having.
sub genres within the comic book movies.
Exactly. You just end up having to have these people with special powers within it. I think that's what you got to get back to, because that's what they were trying to do with Multiverse of Madness. That was supposed to be a horror flick with superheroes in it. It didn't do so well as far as getting there, but that was the idea. That's what you have to get to. Start having genres or the internal genres with special characters within it. And I think once they get back to that or get to that, that is what the evolution will occur. Them being able to move around between the genres, being able to make better movies at that point. So I think that's what we got to get to.
No, I agree, man. One more thing I want to touch on too. I guess switch over to this. One more thing. So, I know you've been hearing about Comic Con. A lot of studios are pulling out of Comic Con. I think me you talked about this probably like last year.
Yeah,
It getting to this point.
yeah,
Listen, man. I know growing up, like Comic Con was like the thing, something you
hmm,
look forward to, especially San Diego Comic Con. That was the
that was the
ticket. We always
place.
talked about we wanted to go. Me and my wife talked about going before.
Yeah,
We looked at tickets and stuff. We kind of found that it was kind of tight in there, whatever, kind of hard to get into, especially to Hall H when they dropping new trailers and all that stuff. So
yeah,
that's kind of reason why we didn't go. We just went to like the other like little sub Comic Cons like around the country or whatever.
yeah.
Um, listen, do you think Comic Con is starting to die off now? Not as far as like oh they gonna stop doing Comic Con, but like it's not the key thing to do anymore.
The Hattie and I spoke about this when the news about the studio started dropping. I told
Hmm.
her that that's this is what it sucks, because this is where it was all supposed to be together, but now Disney D23, Disney does their own, WB does their own, uh,
Lucas,
Sony does their own,
I better say what's the
Lucasfilms.
name? Well, I mean Lucasfilm always did their own. With the Star Wars celebration and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
So all these studios have been starting to do their own, and it sucks because to me that takes away from it. Because what was, like you said, this what made Comic Con so special was the fact that we wasn't just here to see one studio and what they have coming out. We're here to celebrate just overall nerddom. Each of these studios, these major studios, have these movies that's dropping within the next 3 4 years. The news that they're dropping on, and we have the opportunity to witness it on stage and witness it in person if you had the ability to be able to do it. And that's what made Comic Con so special. Yeah, I don't think it will ever be the same because I will see. I think it will be hard for the studios to go back because like when they have it their own, they have a chance to make money off of it and then also spend less money while they're setting it up as well. So instead of traveling out to San Diego, having to set up and everything, so it has a chance for them to make more money. But then also, I don't think what they do will be as good, just to be honest, because it is just their studio doing these particular set of movies. Yeah, it's cool seeing Disney drop all the MCU timeline for the next essentially decade. It's cool to see the Warner Bros. Drop the DC news for that, but it's just not the same. It's not the same because when it was San Diego Comic Con, you knew over the summer that we have, but San Diego Comic Con is about to start. These studios are going to be there. We're about to get some major news over the and some releases over some trailers. Just things that will keep us at buzz for till the end of the year, essentially,
Yep.
and all in one place. Now
Yep.
it's just a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. It's broken up, and with it being broken up, I think that weakens the specialness of it. So I hate that they did it. I like I said, we talked about going to San Diego Comic Con just to have the opportunity to be there and to be
Right.
part of history being made with these films. And uh, these uh, these studios have gotten greedy, and that has affected the fandom. That's also why I will. That's why I support the writers on strike. Support if the actors go, if the directors go on strike, because it's these studios. These studios are ruining uh, what could be the greatest moment of TV with these movies, TV shows, and everything. I think the studios are because they see how much people are enjoying it. All they see are dollar signs, and that's going to end up ruining a lot of things. It's just them being greedy. I'll get off my pedestal. What you got?
I mean, how am I supposed to follow up that, man? Look, let me see. Let me get to this, man. I'm getting comfortable. Listen, man. You
Yeah,
heard me talk
that's
about
what
this
happened.
before. You heard me talk about this before. We talked about this a while back. I think last year during Comic Con. We talked about the fact that a lot of these studios are starting to pull out. Like you just said, they all have starting to make their own little form of Comic Cons. And we talked about the fact too that yeah, when they drop news, that well, last year when they were dropping news at Comic Con, it was like stuff we already seen before, right? But then
Yeah,
they're gonna say their big news, breaking news for their individual like little Comic Cons or whatever, right?
mhm, yeah,
And so that's kind of what we're going to now. It's like, oh, you can probably drop a trailer, like say, oh, the Flash trailer. We saw the Flash trailer 20 million times. Why would I want to go to Comic Con for that? You know what I
yeah,
mean? And then it was like, oh, but we gonna drop this new Superman Legacy trailer at DC Fandom.
yeah,
So it's like, but why then? But like you just said, DC Fandom. I can't go to DC Fandom. That's something
yeah,
y'all do over the internet or whatever. You stream it live on YouTube and all that type of stuff. So you're
yeah,
taking away the interaction of the fans, man. That's what people were there for at Comic Con, was the interaction. It's to be there
yeah,
in person. You want to get there. You want to get the live feel of the people's reaction to those trailers or that news or whatever it was, right? Like you
yeah,
got up for Comic Con, man. Like that was that time of the year was like that was the year, man. We used to talk
yeah.
about it all the time growing up. Like, bro, they about to drop these new trailers.
Exactly.
Man, when that can't wait today, they gonna probably show that Batman trailer or whatever the case is, right? They don't do
Yeah,
that no more. And so now it also makes it worse this year that a lot of these studios are trying to figure out what the heck is going on and what they're gonna do. It's a lot of like with Marvel, you got the whole Jonathan Majors thing. Now you got my boy Namor. You got his situation, so they don't know what they're doing. Then like the writer strike is affecting them right now. With DC, you got James Gunn's about to step in and start his stories and stuff like that with the Superman Legacy. They don't have anything on that yet, but the casting. So they're done with the old DC. Then they got the new DC coming up. They don't really have anything yet, so I can kind of understand that. Don't get me started on Star Wars. You heard me talk about that ad nauseum. I'm getting now. Suddenly has some kind of news that broke that they're doing another trilogy of the Ray trilogy when she's older or whatever, and she started a whole new Jedi Academy and all that stuff. I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't want to hear that. I think people are getting sick and tired of hearing a new movie coming out for Star Wars, and we have no news or there's nothing concrete about anything actually coming out. And Bob
Yeah,
Chapek kind of said that too about a year ago when he told Lucasfilm to stop talking about a movie coming out because y'all not starting anything on it, but you're announcing a movie coming out every week. I
yeah,
asked you on a couple shows ago, hey man, what happened to that Patty Jenkins movie? What happened to the Taika Waititi movie?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? What happened to the Kevin Feige movie?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's a whole nother rant. I'm not gonna get back in that. But anyway, like I said, the thing about it, man, I think Comic Con is gonna become like one of these little normal Comic Cons after a while. Like, yeah, you're gonna see a studio show up to Comic Con, but it's gonna drop something we already seen already. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, they're not gonna drop the new news. But then it's like when you get to your Comic Con, then those are underwhelming. So that whole little summer is kind of underwhelming when it comes to anything geek related, right? So it's just
yeah,
like I said last year, we thinking like, oh, the Fantastic prime example. We thought the Fantastic Four news. We're like, okay, they're not dropping it at Comic Con. They're gonna drop it
yeah,
at D23.
yeah.
Did we get that news? Cuz
Nope,
we didn't
still
get it.
wait,
You sure
still
they didn't
wait.
drop anything at D23? What? Oh, well, I believe it. What? So this is what I'm talking about, man. Like it's especially now, man. Now I'm not saying that it's the reason because people gonna be toxic regardless, but you see a lot of divide and split within the geek culture, man. Like you got to give them something to hold on to. Like you said a minute ago, them dudes that dropped them trailers and stuff or dropped that news at Comic Con, and that would have folks buzzing for about a year, man, before whatever they talked
Yep,
about came out. Right? We don't
yep,
get that no more.
absolutely.
I think the last Comic Con that was like had folks buzzing was the one when they released the Moon Knight news, the She-Hulk news, the Miss Marvel
Yeah,
news. That was the last one, bro. Everybody's like, oh my god, they coming out with this, they coming out with that, they coming out with this, coming out with that. They're
yeah,
not doing that anymore, bro. Like I said, if you go to Comic Con now, you gonna get the same thing you already knew about. We already knew Blue Beetle was coming out. What else you got? Oh, we got this Aquaman trailer. We already knew that though. Like what do you have that's new? Oh, we got the next episode of Secret Invasion. I'm gonna watch that Wednesday.
yeah,
What do you
exactly.
have that's new? Like what's going on? Like you said, how long we been? It don't make no sense to me because they announced the Fantastic Four movie right way before they announced Superman Legacy, but yet we got the cast for Superman Legacy.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, man. But at the same time, I can understand what's going on. Like I said, James
Yeah,
Gunn, his stuff is about to be ushered in here pretty soon. He already got the cast of Superman. He's gonna get his stuff, the wheels rolling over there in DC. And then right now, Marvel got some decisions they need to make with the whole
yeah,
Jonathan Majors and all that stuff. Because now I'm hearing rumors that they're gonna probably go away from Kang and then like make like Doom or something a main bad guy. Because Doom is like one of the pivotal parts in the whole Secret Wars storyline. So
yeah,
the whole he grabbed Thanos and ripped his spine out, love it. But anyway, um, but yeah, that's my like I said, that's my little rant, man. I'm gonna miss the days of Comic Con being the peak,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
That's
me
going
too.
it's not gonna be the same anymore, man. The
Yeah,
days of you being able to interact and all that stuff, man. Nah, it's gonna be hey, you can watch this stream. You can watch this on stream.
yeah, exactly.
This 9.99 stream. You can watch it. You want to watch. You want to get the latest news or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
It's
It was a
all
privilege, man,
about.
to be able to say, yeah, I was there at Comic Con when they dropped that Loki trailer or whatever. You know,
Yeah,
or we got
yeah,
to see Loki and them come on stage like, they got a Blade movie. Oh, Mahershala Ali is here. What?
yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it was a privilege to be a part of that type of stuff, man. But it is what it is, man. Well, other than that, what are you watching? Cause I think I know what you're watching. But
Uh,
what you watching?
so haven't started yet, but about to get going. So I am watching Secret Invasion. Jack Ryan just dropped last week. Got to get on that. It's the final season of it. The Witcher dropped same time. Got to get on that. The uh, Black Mirror dropped. Got to get on that. These are great shows. It's just so much good TV. And then so I have all this TV that I should watch, and then I just started watching a new show called The Bear on Hulu. It's a FX Hulu
I might watch that show.
with the chefs. Oh, it's so good. It's really good. I have been wanted to watch the season one. I hadn't had the chance until a couple of weeks ago and binged it. It's so good. I do recommend that as a watch. But yeah, uh, over the next couple of weeks, yeah, I'm gonna start watching Jack Ryan since it's the final season. I don't like to start final seasons right away, just because the emotions. Like Jack Ryan is one of my favorite shows. Like if it was a regular season, I would like. That's one of the few shows that I make sure that I watch immediately as soon as it drops on Prime. Like have to. But yeah, it's just go around. Not so much have to slow down since it is the final season for it, and then also it's the final season for Henry Cavill in the Witcher. So haven't started on that too. Same thing, because it's going to be weird next season him not being there. So what you watching?
Man, I started watching Witcher, like you just said. Um, Black Mirror. I started watching that, but the show I've been waiting on, I finally got to see it. My Adventures with Superman. I saw the first two episodes.
Yeah, man. What you think?
It's pretty good, man. It's pretty
Yeah,
good. It's kind of a different spin on Superman. I'm not mad at it. I
yeah,
kind of wanted to see, man, what everybody else was saying. I was trying to look for like a spoiler discussion or something, or a review or something for it to kind of see what everybody's idea of it is. Man, I told my
yeah,
wife last night. Now you told I had to wait because on Max, I think it comes out like the next day or whatever on Max.
yeah, yeah. It drops on Thursday, and
Did you know
then
you can watch the
Max on
episode on
Saturday.
YouTube?
The fourth episode,
Yep.
like live
Adult
or
Swim has a YouTube channel.
what?
Scrolled through my YouTube yesterday and I saw it. I said, "What the heck, bruh?" And it said
I did
full
not know that.
episode, 22 minutes. I was like,
What? I had no idea.
"Bruh," I just found that out yesterday, last night, as a matter of fact. I'm just like, "What in the world?"
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I want to watch it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, what the point of owning Max then, if that's the case? But anyway, if you can watch all the Adult Swim stuff on YouTube,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
it's crazy.
An Adult
Yeah,
Swim YouTube channel. Let's see what else I'm watching. I need to get back into Warrior. 'Cause I think the new season dropped on Max.
yeah, yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, I just I gotta get into it. I feel like it was something else I was watching, bro. Bloodhound. Me and my wife been watching that on Netflix. Was there something else? I feel like I'm missing something. I'll watch it come to me later. But yeah, so far those are what I'm watching. But yeah, man, y'all, if y'all haven't seen my Adventures with Superman, I need to go watch that.
Yeah.
It's in an animated form, man. Anime form. I like it, man.
The animation reminds me of Invincible on Prime.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what it
yeah. That's what they
reminds me
remind
of.
me of too. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it
it's like
remind me of.
pretty cool, pretty cool.
I like how fast they got him moving on there and stuff, man. Like,
Yeah, it's awesome.
but
Also, for those of you who haven't noticed, I'm not in my normal spot. It's because right now streaming on location in Toronto.
are you in the six?
Yeah, had to here for Beyonce. Beyonce's having a concert today, so had him up here to go to the show tonight. It was also pretty cool. So we was out went to go grab some food yesterday, and there was a poster on the on post, and it said it was talking about a sale for um, from a trailer for a show and whatnot. Guess what the show was that they selling stuff for?
What?
The Boys. They have props and all kinds of things
They found the
from the
boys in
Boys.
Toronto.
I guess so. Yeah,
Man, you be surprised, bro. They film a lot of movies in Canada, man. Like
it's
that Hulk
crazy.
movie was filmed. The Hulk, Edward Norton Hulk, that was filmed in
Mm.
Canada.
Oh,
Yeah,
did not know
Hamilton,
that.
because John Kemp said he was on set.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. we might try to find some time before the concert to go try to scrounge through some props for the boys.
That's what's up,
We'll see.
man. That's what's
Yeah.
up. But yeah, man. You got anything else you want to add, man, before we roll out?
Nah, that's all I got. I had to show Beyonce a little bit.
But yeah, man. Listen, guys. We definitely appreciate everybody geeking out with us, man. One of those cases, man. I know it's been a while for us. Still geeking out with y'all, man. We definitely, like I say, appreciate y'all, man. Listen, if you guys have socials, go ahead and follow us on our socials. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us also on LinkedIn under Glow Sun Productions, guys. We will be back here next Saturday, guys, bringing you more geek news and topics to talk about. It is your boy, Rick.
It's your boy, Will.
And we are out, guys. Stay geeked.